Elsewhere in Trump legal news, Rudy Giuliani is drowning in debt, and now his own lawyer is suing him for unpaid legal fees. That's according to a lawsuit from Robert Costello, who alleges that Giuliani failed to pay him and his law firm for legal services related to election interference cases in Georgia and Washington, D.C., and a variety of other legal matters. They claim Giuliani is on the hook for nearly $1.4 million in outstanding fees, and that he only paid a fraction of the tab, just $214,000, since November 2019, which is when he first retained Costello. However, the complaint does say that Giuliani made a partial payment of $10,000 last week. In response, Giuliani criticized both the lawsuit and Costello, saying this, quote, "I can't express how personally hurt I am by what Bob Costello has done. It's a real shame when lawyers do things like this, and all I will say is that their bill is way in excess to anything approaching legitimate fees." Now, earlier this month, Donald Trump, you'll recall, hosted a $100,000 a plate fundraiser for Giuliani at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club to help with the former New York City mayor's legal defense fund. It's not yet clear how much that event raised for Giuliani personally. Joining us now to talk about all this, former litigator and MSNBC legal analyst, our friend Lisa Rubin. Lisa, great to see you here on set. Jeffrey Clark, let's start there. He's the latest Trump ally to argue that it was the former president who was solely responsible for his actions. Now, that's an argument that has not worked in every other case we've seen before. Do you think it could be successful in this one?
I think it might be successful, but not for the reasons that he used it yesterday. It won't be successful in allowing Jeff Clark to move his case to federal court because the burden is on him to marshal evidence showing that he was not only a federal official, but he was acting within the scope of his federal duties. That is probably not a fight he's going to win. But in terms of him saying, Trump ratified my conduct, this is actually one of the first times that we've seen somebody in one of the cases closest to Trump say, no, it was his fault. And I think it's a foreshadowing of things to come. You know, we have this judge in Fulton County dividing the defendants into two buckets. Chesebro and Powell are going to get their trial on October 23rd. All of the rest he's left for a different date. But now you have Trump's then lawyer or Jeff Clark, a Justice Department official, saying he put me up to it. And we know from Trump's own lawyers that he is likely to say, no, it was the lawyer's fault that this happened in the first place. When people go like this, It makes it really impossible to try them at the same time, oftentimes.
Yeah, so we'll obviously keep an eye on that. No timeline, again, when the judge said he would decide. Let's switch to Rudy Giuliani. As we just detailed, he's being sued by his lawyers. There's been plenty of media reports about Giuliani's current financial struggles. If he's not able to pay the bill, Giuliani is, of course, an attorney. It's been a long time since he was a U.S. attorney and deemed a successful one here in New York. May we end up in a scenario where he's going to be representing himself?
I don't know that that will be the case because it's very difficult sometimes to withdraw from a criminal case when you're a lawyer representing somebody who's a criminal defendant. Bob Costello doesn't represent Rudy Giuliani in the Fulton County case, I should note, perhaps because of that reason, because he knows it's hard to withdraw. What I think is increasingly likely is that Giuliani's legal problems and his mounting financial difficulty are driving him toward bankruptcy, where a bunch of people are going to get in line and say, this guy owes me money. Those people would include Bob Costello's law firm, Davidoff Citron, and Bob Costello himself, but also folks like Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, who now have a default judgment against Giuliani with respect to their defamation case against him.
And lastly, and just briefly, there's so many of these legal cases swirling right now. What's the next thing we should be looking out for in any matter involving the former president?
I think we should be looking for what Judge Chutkan is going to do on the recusal motion that Trump has made. And then after that, the next thing that we should be looking for is tomorrow, where 3 more people are trying to remove their case to federal court. This time it's the 3 fake electors in Georgia.
And Trump will also present his argument against a gag order. That comes later this week.
Later this month, yep.
It is so much going on every day. We're so glad you're here to help explain
Thanks.
that. Former litigator and MSNBC legal analyst Lisa Rubin, thank you as always.